Okay, what's up? We're live. This is the fifth day of doing this. We skipped yesterday. We had some stuff going on. Here we are. I got 5 till midnight tonight. At 5 till midnight. God, the name of the show is the word midnight in it. It starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. Um, let's do
It
some
doesn't start
stuff.
at 5 or midnight.
5 till midnight. No, it doesn't. But it's 5 minutes till midnight in the Anthropocene clock. It's not meant to be that. Well, what's up? Anyone actually in this thing? I don't know. It says we got 2 listeners, but are you people that are alive? Regardless, hello. And let's see the short. Did you put it up yet?
All right. I don't know how to share. Yes, I do.
Yo, what is up, Frenchie? How are you doing, brother? I'm up on Twitter too. I always forget I keep putting it up on Twitter. You are a gay. Somebody just said that to just not to me, but someone. Oh. Okay. I'm not going to share that just because. Okay. I'm live on Twitter. I need to. Okay, we're also on YouTube, and there's a comment section on YouTube if you want to hang out. Oh, thank you, Frenchie. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, no, yesterday was good. It's just I'm in a much better headspace now, but I'm gonna delay the podcast episode a little bit. Like I said in the thing, just make sure I have good because I did not like episode 27 very much. And I have a couple ideas, but I'll get into a flow of it, and that's what I'm doing now. Yo, Craig, what's up, man? I was not expecting to see you at this time. I hope you enjoy. I think what we're gonna do, if you can pull it up, Dan, is one of the shorts that Dan's working on editing some of our content from the Jimmy Buffett documentary content. So more Bama Bob. I love this guy, man. I put up a couple shorts of him. We're gonna be putting this stuff up on the Prosperous Parrots page mostly, but we don't have all that set up yet, and I need to continue to work on the podcast more because I that's my main thing is making sure that the episodes are coming out weekly. So until I figure out that process, the other stuff is going to take a back seat. So let's see it, Dan.
Can you see it?
I can see it, but I don't know if the audio will work.
Okay, yeah, I'm having to share the entire thing because it's on an app. So, and I can't see you at the other time because I don't have my other screen plugged in. So let me know when you're ready for me to play it.
Okay. Yeah, go right ahead.
There's so many.
It's not gonna work.
Why? It worked. I heard it.
Yeah, but it's coming out of my speakers.
What the hell? 5 people are watching? Where'd you guys come from?
Tell me if you can hear this.
No, I can't hear it. We're dealing with it. Look, we're doing this streaming every 90 days, so we get in the workflow of learning the stream. So we're still early in this. It's going to be a little clunky. Please bear with us. And this is meant to be a hangout thing, so there's going to be some slow spots. I think I will be doing another stream later today. Actually, it might be tomorrow because 5 till midnight is at 8 p.m. tonight. But there will be another stream to answer questions and everything. Okay, that makes more sense. It popped up to 5 and then went back down to 3. That must have been a glitch. But yeah, hello.
I'm gonna log into it on Chrome so I can just share a tab. It's easier that way.
Okay. Yeah, do your thing. I'm writing a thing on Twitter right now. I'm about to release that what's that thing called? I'm editing down some of that reaction content.
Nice.
That's what I'm gonna do. Hey, if you guys wouldn't mind, I'd appreciate a little like either on Twitter or on YouTube. That does do something. Hello, people. Say hello in the comments if you'd like anything. You got any questions about anything? Ask Dan why he's a race trader, that type of thing. You can.
I'm
ask
a race
that.
trader.
What?
And you can't. I said I am a race trader, and you can't ask that.
That's fine. It's okay. We forgive you.
Okay. That should.
I mean, it worked the first time, so I don't know. You getting it?
I think it's good now. See if you can hear this.
Oh, no. Oh,
There it goes.
I gotta put it up.
It should be good now. Let's see if we can hear it.
There's so many songs that Jimmy has taught us how to live our lives. I'm grateful for this man. He has literally impacted my life. I was pretty well caught up in chasing the dollar for 40 years. I started out as a truck driver. I ended up as a regional manager for 4 states, 25 branches, and $100 million annual sales budget. We got bought by the French. I suddenly found myself retired. I just started listening to music, and Buffett just bonded with.
That was fantastic, man.
The end of it, the me is cutting off, and I don't know how to extend it. I might need your help with that. You can access it.
I'll show you how.
You can access it from your what's called. I saved it under a different project within the.
Okay,
there's another composition.
Body and arithmetic well-being says this 6FD 5D 69 FDYG. Okay, I'm not reading that. And a question, but I'm going to share the thing. Are you
the bear?
The bear? I don't understand what's happening. What is this question about? Why don't I get it? I don't get it. Oh, ginger. Yeah, apparently that's a thing. Are you a ginger?
Am I a ginger? No, I'm not a ginger.
Okay. And Frenchie's moving to Australia. That's cool, man.
Tomorrow.
That's dope. Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. Why are you moving to Australia? No, it's all right, Frenchie. You're speaking like English, so we appreciate it. I know my French is terrible, and your English is way better than my Spanish, even. So, yeah. What are you doing in Australia? There's a lot of opportunity in Australia. I heard they have like a terrible housing crisis, just like the entire Anglosphere. The U.S. has one, but it's not as bad. France sucks. Okay, fair enough, brother. I get that, man. Hell yeah, Australia.
What did you think about my French bulldog peeing on a tree backed by a French flag, Frenchie? I literally put that in there specifically because of you.
I want to change air. Housing market is horrible. I don't think Australia is as big or better though, dude. Like for real, I've heard it's real bad. I don't know. Maybe where you're going, it's not. Since I have the audio or the video switcher. Oh, I haven't plugged it in. 1 second. I got to do that. Why? So why Australia? Why is that easy? Dude, it's so far away. And then Canada, like anywhere in Canada, or like are you just looking at Quebec, which is pretty close to me, by the way. I'm only a few hours drive away, which in North America is considered very close in the grand scheme of things. Dude, Texas. Dan lives in Texas. Do you see that?
I live in Texas.
Oh man, you work in IT? No, that's crazy, bro. We need plenty of IT professionals.
There's more tech jobs in Texas now than there are any other state in our glorious union.
Yeah, but he says getting the green card. He can't get a green card. He says
you don't need a green card to come to Texas. Go across the southern border. A lot of people do it. It's never been a big deal.
Number one, if you want to come here illegally, you just fly to Texas and overstay a visa. That's how most Europeans do it. We're not recommending that, but it's definitely a thing. Okay, so there's a lot of demand for Canada's Dude, it's crazy
That's
because
interesting.
there's so many people that want to come to the US and Canada that like have these great skills. But we just like they're technically illegal immigrants, but you're not even allowed to call them illegal immigrants. And then they're like they don't have skills and they screw us over. I guess it's because like the poorer people that don't have skills are only they're benefiting the upper like the donor class, like the capitalist class, not like capitalist as believing in the ideology, but like controlling the capital. Um, those people benefit from the dilution of the least skilled laborers, while it only harms the least skilled laborers, which are the people with the least amount of power. So it's very unfortunate because we need seriously we need IT professionals in the U.S. Like they have this massive crisis. Well, not a massive crisis. I mean, there is a crisis of employment for a number of reasons, but I don't know. Point is, I wish Frenchie could come to America. You know what they're doing? They're deporting Venezuelans specifically. We got a bunch of people coming in from all different places in the U.S. And you fact check this because it's possible that I gleaned this and this was somebody misrepresenting information. I didn't look too deep into it, but it is true that they're kicking out a lot of people from Venezuela and they're leaving in people from these other places, Ecuador, Haiti, all these other countries. Whereas Venezuelans are a group of people that's much more likely to vote conservative, Republican. Because the Venezuelans, like the Cuban population in the United States, are populations that are largely made up of people that have fled communism. So they are likely to vote for the opposite, for the conservative. And it just seems odd to me that they're being, it seems pointed that they're being targeted specifically amongst many different countries of people for deportation, which I don't like the idea of deportation. I think it's a really cruel thing to do, especially when like you hear of stories, and I don't know how common these are, but of people who build lives here are here for like 20 years, and then they do, even if they commit some sort of crime, it's like you've been here for 20 years. Native born Americans are able to commit a bunch of crimes. They don't even go to jail. So it's I don't know. It's I would like a system that doesn't allow people to come here in the first place, because it's a system that effectively doesn't enforce its laws. And instead, by not enforcing their laws, they allow people to affect the law to effectively not exist. And then you allow somebody to build a life here 20 years, maybe they have children, but they're not a citizen. And then it's so cruel to, after that period of time, to then decide to start enforcing that law. It's not right. And the fault in that case is on the government that's not enforcing that law. Because if a law isn't being enforced, it like don't have the law. Like have the law if you're going to enforce it. If you're not going to enforce it, then don't, because that's your fault. Because you let people come in. The situation was that it was fine to come in, even though it was in this gray area. And it's always this ambiguity that allows for crisis, because ambiguity is chaos. But yeah, that's my rant about how illegal immigrants are fucked over by the people that pretend to protect them.
The Venezuelan situation specifically, I know that's not the main point of what you're talking about there. It applies to more situations than just the Venezuelan one.
Right.
But if I'm not mistaken, the Venezuelan deportation was resumed. They had stopped deporting people to Venezuela because of the condition in that country. So there's been a lot of Venezuelans that were waiting to be deported.
Right. So they had stopped the deportations because of the violence there, because they didn't want to send people back there. But now that violence has subsided. Is that the idea?
I'm not sure if it's subsided or if they've just decided that they're done waiting. God,
it's awful, man. I mean, ultimately, I feel about that is like, people come here, but often, and like, you're like, oh, fuck, like they shouldn't come here. But like, go a step further in that, like a lot of times these places are being destabilized by our governments. So it's our responsibility in a certain sense. And that doesn't mean that I'm saying that you should let them come here, because that's not solving the root problem at all. It's just, it's creating more problems for us. And it also doesn't fix the vast majority of people who can't get out and come here. And it creates a lot of issues along the way, and human trafficking and things like that. And we just don't have honest conversations about this anymore.
No,
it's reduced down to supporting human rights versus not. And that's incorrect. It's not truth.
It's also hard for people, I think, when it comes to immigration, people always talk numbers, right?
Yeah.
But like realistically, those numbers don't mean anything to the average person. I mean, if you tell the average person, there's 500,000 Venezuelan immigrants here that are eligible to be deported, that's not a real number. Like it's just not a real number to like an everyday person. You can't really wrap your mind around 500,000. You've probably never seen 500,000.
Yeah. It means nothing. The brain is not meant to comprehend that.
Mm-hmm. No, Frenchie, I did not know that.
Yeah, so in the early 1900s, both Venezuela and Argentina were very, very nice places, considered like gems of the Western Hemisphere. I don't remember what the name was, but yes, this was true in the past, unfortunately. And there's in varying degrees, there's some blame. I think sometimes too much blame is put on American imperialism and other Western imperialism, but there's definitely some blame for that. Oh, it's downloading media files. I guess I didn't have this downloaded to this computer. I think you did a very good song choice, and you made the volume good too.
Good.
But of course, I can't hear the thing. Here, so look at what I'm doing right now. Right here. Here, I'm gonna make myself bigger.
Please. Yeah.
Oh, some of it's loading in. Bama Bob finds Jimmy. Okay. Cool. I don't remember what the first frame looked like, but I think that one thing that you should do is add in some sort of image of Jimmy Buffett so that people then see that it's about Jimmy Buffett. Or not, or maybe it's better to not know.
The first frame and last frame, they come from the same video, so it should loop. Once I fix the end of the last phrase, it should loop perfectly. Or not perfectly, but close enough.
Okay.
Close enough for me.
So look, I pulled it up, right? This is the timeline. Yeah, and it's downloading. It'll do it quick, but dude, yeah, the sound effects, fantastic. That's one thing I need to add. And then right here, what I'm doing, I can go here, and I know it's really small, but pull on that.
Oh, nice.
Right? Like this?
Okay, yeah.
Let's hear it. Oh, it's not gonna. Oh, and then pull this out so it doesn't skip. And then whenever like you just pull it down to where it is. I mean, you could do this on your side right now.
I actually don't have it doesn't allow me to pull it like that.
I don't understand. Oh, you look right here, these things. You might be selecting a different one. You might be selecting the hand tool or one of these. You need to click on the select and then it lets you do it. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I mean, I do have that selected. It's not.
Okay, you share your screen now.
Okay. I'm going back and forth between the oh, that's the wrong one. Do you see it? Can you see this?
Yeah, let me just make it bigger. Yeah, I see it.
I can pull this thing here, but I don't think this is the same. It might be. Maybe I'm an idiot.
Okay, so here's what's happening. There is a little, I don't know if I got that on my end, but there is that is the text file, or that is the music file. So you're pulling on, I actually don't see that piece. Oh, I do now. Oh, okay. What the fuck is going on here? I got it.
Bonded with me.
Is that better? I'm pulling it out, so it might be moving.
And Buffett just bonded with me. And
okay.
Yeah, there it is.
You got it now?
Yeah. Thank you.
Just bonded with me. And
Get rid of that and, obviously.
The music and Buffett just bonded with me.
Maybe that entire thing is...
Huh.
Music and Buffett just bonded with me.
I think that last thing is not it. I think the me is there in the same clip with the with. I don't know why that extra piece is there.
Buffett just bonded with me.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh, dude, there is a chat now on Twitter. That's freaking
Listening
wild.
to music and Buffett just bonded with me.
Can you make it loop into script to hear what it sounds like?
I don't know. That's interesting. You could simulate it by copy and pasting the first line to the end. And that's probably the easiest way to do it. What am I doing? Yo, what? Buyers? What's up, dude?
Buyers in the chat.
What the hell? That's funny as shit. What's up, buyers? How you doing, brother? Good to see you.
Wyatt.
That's crazy. Okay, Frenchie, if you're still around, if you're the other person that's in the chat, just so you know, for context, Byers is a guy that I was in the Marine Corps with like 7 years ago. New Englander as well, if I remember correctly. He's from North Massachusetts. Wasting time at work. Nothing's changed then, has it?
Smoking cigarettes.
Up in Maine. Yes, up in Maine, North Massachusetts. We call it North Massachusetts because the land used to belong to the state of Massachusetts, a.k.a. Commonwealth of Massachusetts, a.k.a. the colony of Massachusetts, a.k.a. one of the commensurate parts of the New England Dominion. Victors of King Philip's War. Okay, sweet. I live on occupied land of both the Eastern Algonquin people and of the New England Confederation. Just as possible. If not, you're you're validating land claims. That's what I should do the episode on. Oh man, I wrote a whole thing out last night about why women's voting is not good.
Good.
Listen, I don't think that women should vote, but if I were married, I would let my wife tell me because I don't care about voting. I think it's dumb. That's not true. I would vote for the Republicans. Oh, gold. That's true. There were, the last election, just a few days ago, I always would vote third party. I mean, I would vote green over Republican, but there were no third parties. This was a local municipal election, and especially on municipal elections, I mean, I would never vote for a Democrat on school board unless I knew the positions of the people specifically. But generally, school education stuff, staunchly, Democrats are wrong for me. So Republicans would always be it. Maine is the only state with a silent letter. So French. Yeah. So, well, it does come from the name Maine does come from France. I mean, a lot of the initial colonists in France or in Maine were French, and there is some overlap. You know, there's the barrier of the lakes of the rivers up there, but really, New England and Quebec, Ontario, and the Maritime provinces are effectively connected. You know, there is geographical barriers because of how cold it is up there, and of the water and the deep woods that exist in northern New England, but they do border each other, and there was and is movement between them. You know, New England is definitely more similar to the Maritime provinces than it is to Washington State. Like there's always this thing that the regions of Canada that correspond to the regions directly geographically next to them in the United States are always much more similar, I guess, with the exception of Quebec being French, but they're always more similar than regions of the US to each other. You know, so like I've talked about this before, but the frickin' oh, you know what? Right. Maine. Yeah, and that would be south of that's east of Brittany and south of Normandy, right? Because it was an area that used to be English land in the sense that it was Norman land, and was taken over in the 1400s, right? And then obviously Normandy and Calais and the other one taken out. Okay. Yep. And Frenchie says exactly. And so the Frenchman has confirmed my knowledge of French history. So you can rest easy that was true. What's up? You say something now.
Yeah, I was just surprised to learn that Maine is the only one of our 49 states that has a silent letter. I didn't know that. I would have assumed.
Is it really?
So what Frenchie says.
Yeah, it's not the only French word though. I mean, you got Louisiana.
Mm-hmm. True. All right. I finished the edit. I added an and onto the end of the last line. So it should loop better. Or maybe it won't.
Okay. Throw that bitch up there, man.
Thumbnails.
Don't worry about it for this. Don't worry about it for the short. Throw it up. Throw it up with a good title and a good first image. South Normandy. Okay. Fantastic. Right. Yeah, it's essentially its own kind of reconquista, right? Like up there as the as different French mainland places are taken over by England, and then England and the United Kingdom, I think, still on its crest, like still has things that are on the flag that are a reminiscent of when the crown itself owned these lands in France, and with that comes, I mean, it used to with the old way politics works does come like a, you know, it's a implicit claim on the French throne essentially, which is odd, but you know, and it's not real anymore. But like in a certain time, it was a thing. This was one of those ways that they would gain legitimacy. Any leader would gain legitimacy as being this line that used to own this land. Of course, it fades over time, but they leave that on there. And if they leave it on there, you know, it's kind of saying like, hey, you know, the situation's right. We're sliding in that motherfucker, like sliding in DMs, but they're sliding in to that throne, getting that French throne. It never happened because obviously England was always weaker than France. Always. They only were able to survive because they're an island. You know, the population discrepancy, the technology discrepancy, just, I mean, just not even a competition. Yeah, so the 100 Years' War, I mean, the 1400s is really when this kind of gets all settled out, I think, a lot of it. I more than the 100 Years' War. But unfortunately, there was one time in the 1400s in France where like the English were just, I mean, the Hundred Years' War was essentially 3 separate wars with times of large peace that, and it was like 114 years. But at one point, England owned half of what today's France, and then Joan of Arc came. Yeah, and they apparently killed like 1 million French people. They had a big army in France, just rolling around, screwing everybody up, and the French couldn't do anything about it for some reason. But the English army was also too weak to actually conquer anything. So they, it was like this situation, just like Hannibal, I think, just like strolling around the Rome countryside or the Italian countryside, just screwing everything up, but knowing that he's completely unable to siege down the main city, so he effectively lost. That's why those wars are the Carthaginian wars are so interesting, because like Rome didn't win by winning; they won by like not losing. They just refused to lose. They just, we'll just send army after army of our men after them. They made like 12 armies. It was freaking stupid. The Carthaginians, on the other hand, were using entirely mercenaries and had no will. But yeah, that's Rome, man. That you can't kill an idea. They'll just keep sending dudes at you. I mean, eventually you have to kill them all. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Did you put out the short? Sorry, I'm talking a lot. I'm gonna stop doing it.
No, you're fine, dude. I'm working trying to get it to upload.
Yeah, and I want to work as well.
How long does it usually take to upload from Descript for you?
I don't know. Not a long time.
It says a few minutes, so.
You what?
It says it'll be a few minutes before it's published. I don't remember having this issue last time. I guess I didn't do it from Descript last time, did I? I did it from.
You did what?
This is the first time I've published something from Descript. I published it from Resolve last time.
Oh, well, I usually export the file and then drag it in, but you can do it by signing into the YouTube. You should be able to. Chevauchés? Ah, crap. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Do you know how to pronounce?
I don't know, dude. I have no idea.
I don't know French pronunciation at all. But that's dope. I'm gonna share this. This is what I'm doing. This is the reaction from the other day. I tried to edit this one down. I might not edit some of the other ones down. I'm just gonna might record an intro here. Second. In many ways, humans are kind of evolutionary freaks.
Okay. It is exporting. While this exports, I'm gonna get some food real quick. For lunch.
Okay.
I'll leave the camera on. You can take it out of the stream.
Okay. No worries, Wyatt. That's sick. You got your freaking get that going, buddy. How you guys doing? How is it going? Can you guys hear this? I don't think you can hear my system audio, and I'm worried that if I put it through, it won't. It will put out other, and we'll see. Oh, you should be able to hear it. Wait, can you hear it? Can you guys hear it? Well, can someone just tell me in the comments that they can hear it? Because I'm not sure, but I'm sharing it through this. I'm not sure if it's coming through. Oh, it should be because it's wait. Oh, it's not. Oh, because I don't have it on the thing. Guys, the text stuff is harder than I thought it was going to be. No, you can't hear the audio. Okay, crap. And I'm not presenting. Maybe I should just present. So I'll leave myself like that, and then this is going to make him echo though when he comes back, but he's not here. So here we go. No, that's not what I wanted to share. Shit. Share screen. Entire screen. Let me know if you can hear this audio now, please. For all hunter-gatherers, there are definitely like hierarchies based on age. This is nonsense.
Gender does not convey any authority.
That's bullshit.
Anybody. It's incredibly open and
That's
tolerant.
ridiculous.
People don't force things on children.
They
also realize that there's an instinct, in particular, they say, not among women, but among men. Young men who go out hunting and they bring in their first big animal, they'll strut in and show off. They'll say that potentially risks upsetting the egalitarian balance that makes the society function. Rather than praise a successful hunter, they mock them.
Okay, so this is a famous story in anthropology. Contradicts his point of earlier. Mocking them, this is a social ritual which is meant to continue to produce the egalitarianism. So the egalitarianism is forced. He literally says it himself. It's fierce, which means that it's through social pressure, through like mob mentality. You're forced to act a certain way. You're forced to act this way in egalitarianism. And what do you think of this? I'm about to put this out as a video, but I've edited it down quite a bit to try to make it more real consequences, more good information. Don't do this. So it's an absolute lie that there's no sort of social rules or him trying to present it that way. And I don't know. They get this very noble savage idea a lot of times, and this is the type of stuff that mainstream anthropology produces.
Somebody shows up, if they've killed a giraffe, they'll say, this giraffe, this bit of a scrawny giraffe, and it stinks a little bit. There's this great ritual of humility and insult.
you have some leisure time.
Eaten world. Nature was red in tooth and claw, and life was
Here, the lead
work. Deep history, sense of their perceptions of work and our perceptions of work. And what it did was it revealed
gatherers that exist today have been contacted by greater civilization for hundreds.
That everything is continuously battling for energy is nonsense. I spent most of the last 25 years documenting hunter-gatherers as they took their worldview and tried to engage with our worldview in very uneven terms, and to try and make very uneven terms, and to try and make sense of their perceptions of work and our perceptions of work. And what it did was it revealed an entirely different way of thinking, an entirely different way of being. My name's James Sussman. I'm an anthropologist, and
I
didn't
want to shave it off, but I'm growing it back.
It's called Work. A deep history from the Stone Age to the Everyone thinks about hunter-gatherer society. I've imagined a world we endured this horrendous struggle for survival in an eat-or-be-eaten world. Nature was red in tooth and claw, and life was hard, and we learned to accumulate and grab resources. It was a great competition for life. But it seems fairly clear we enjoyed quite a lot of leisure time as hunter-gatherers.
Just because you have some leisure time doesn't mean that you're not fighting for your life at other times.
I went off to the Kalahari, a group of people called the first hunter-gatherer society that were really studied to see how hard they actually work.
I'm literally trying to find the thumbnail right now. I did not make very expressive faces. Ethos. That's something I need to do. This is a famous quote. It's from this specific group of people. The Kwasi, he's saying a specific tribe within the Junwasi, or the Kong people. Kwasi.
What we do here in the West. The idea of what constitutes work and the way we organize our lives can be very different and very contextual based. Hunting, work, and the way we organize. In the Junwa world, those are all considered work. In the Western world, where I come from at the moment, most of those things are considered leisure activities now. The Inuit and the Arctic, the Aboriginals in Australia, and they're, of course, people like the Junwasi engage with the land with consummate skill.
All right, well, that's an inquisitive look. I guess that'll have to do.
Come from at the moment.
It does convey emotion. I'll do it. I'll do it in conjunction with
the Inuit and the Arctic, the Aboriginals in Australia, and they're, of course, people like the Junwasi.
I wish there was a better way for me to take stills. I hope that this is good enough. Okay, I'm gonna stop my screen share. Oops. Oh, he's gone. Oh, it's all me now. Ugh. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, gonna go up here to my streaming thing. Click on the thumbnails one. Gonna put StreamYard back in the thing. That is fantastic. I'm glad you did that. So this is where I put all of them. We're going to duplicate that one. Anthropologist. I think I need to record a little quick little early thing. Let's see. Healthy at any size. Oh God, the disgust on my face. These are great though. Sorry, that's rude, but just being honest here. Not okay. Let's see. Set its page background. Ugh, gosh, that's not great, but it'll have to do. No, crap. I gotta pull a larger image and then edit that one myself. That's what I need to do, and I wasn't doing that the entire time. Okay, learn from it. That's all right. That might be it right there. Nah. This should do. Whatever. I don't care too much about it. Oh, my face looks so dumb there. I love it. I gotta be. Oh, that's a terrible face. I gotta be more expressive and like looking at the content. Like the point of the faces isn't like to make the most like YouTuber face. It's meant to like you're trying to use the face to convey the emotion that you're feeling. That's a funny one though. That's just funny on itself. I kind of want to use that one just to use it. Oh wow. Ridiculous the way your face looks for a moment. That's good. I'm doing like pizza hands. There we go. That's good enough. It's not exactly what I want, but that's fine. Okay. And then what we can do is I'm going to find the best frame that represents we're talking about move this down to more of a square, and I'm going to mess with it a little bit to make it like a little bit brighter in the Photoshop editor here. I might even remove my background. Let's see what it looks like. Adjustments. No, we're not going to screw around with that too much. We're definitely going to up the brightness so you can see my face a little bit better. Highlights, I don't know. Shadows is I want to make my face pop more. That's not it. Saturation, don't want warmth. Sharpen a little bit, I think I tend to want to do. It does enunciate them a little bit better. I'm still working on this type of thing. I think I do want to try to remove the background. Oh, that's good. That's good. I can make it a little bit bigger then. And we're gonna pick a frame for the backside now, or for the end, and this is about like the lives of hunter gatherers. So I'm gonna try to find a frame that has that on it. Let's just see. Later, buyers. I actually think it might be possible that he's actually right about that. I didn't consider it more, but there is less homogenization here. But there's other details that I think are important. I just don't know them. Um, Oh, I got to remember what type of face I have. Maybe I should do the gender one. Yeah. Maybe I should just use their thumbnail. Am I allowed to do that? I think so, because it's fair use, because I'm commenting on it. Hello, friend.
Hello. What did I miss?
Nothing. Everybody left, but that's okay.
Nice. Kenny is at home.
Okay, well, can you send him the invite?
Can I send him? Is it the same link? I'll send it to him right now.
Should be. Yeah. Oh, that's not right.
He called and was talking about videos, and I was like, dude, don't talk to me about this. Get on the
Yeah, what an asshole. And we can watch those videos, and I have some to watch as well.
Nice. I think he was talking about his own video creation.
Oh, yeah.
process,
No, but still.
And it uploaded. Can change the name and shit.
Oh, now there's 2 people watching. Who's here? 850. Oh God. Ah, crap. Is that Kenny? Is that Benny?
It says you're back. Oh,
You can't talk until we let you in. I don't know who the hell you think you are, Jurassic Poppy. You're not even Mexican, dude.
what's up, guys?
Oops.
Hola.
Not much.
Hey, I can't stay on for too long, but I wanted to say what's good.
You think you're better than us?
in the hood with it?
You think you're better than us?
Are you working on the thumbnail?
Yep. What do you think?
It looks good.
What do you think about the like, you know, if it's is this 100 gather?
Are you reacting to that man?
This is
that
a
you're moving
reaction
around?
video, yeah.
To the man that you're moving around?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot going on. There's probably too much going on. I'll do this differently next time, but
wrong.
And then I'm gonna do an arrow.
Oh, you're calling his stuff wrong.
Yeah, no, well, you know, and not like extraordinarily. It's just I disagree with his take for a number of reasons. I don't think he's a bad dude. Oh yeah, I forgot that I can't change the color of these. Maybe I can do it with shapes. I forget. Oh yeah. Maybe there's a better one under point.
Like a thicker one or something.
I think I can make it thicker. And I gotta flip this.
Are you on Adobe Express?
Yeah. Yeah, I like Adobe Express.
You can maybe like AI image one and then just delete the background or something.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that right now. But yeah,
Okay.
that's a good idea.
Okay.
But the border is like, ugh. It's not really a border. That's okay. Nope. Don't want that. Don't need animation. This is a thumbnail. I wish. Should this be yellow or the same color as this? And I'm gonna put a circle around his face. Circle. 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 Dude, is this rude? Like, I feel like I'm being rude here. Like, this isn't cool.
Like,
Just, like
the guy.
Yeah, but it's like I'm only trying to like explain what the video is about, and the video is about him being wrong. So like, what am I supposed to do? It's about him being wrong. So I wrote that he's wrong. I can't. See, I gotta add a little intro to it.
I'm not sure if his head should be impaled by the arrow. That might be sending the wrong message.
Wait, it's not.
Well, I mean, kind of was.
No. It's just pointing to the circle.
To his jugular.
No.
I'm talking about the arrow in the bow. I'm talking
What?
about in the bow. The arrow in the bow skewers
I
his
didn't
head.
even notice that. No, that's just so that the hunter-gatherer's text is down here. But no, I'm gonna.
I think you put the hunter-gatherers like over him even. Because
Yeah.
He's not...
Right.
I like the thumbnail. I think it looks good. And I think you look good in the corner. And I love the sweater.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I really like the sweater. Thank you.
Yeah, it looks like you're properly aligned with the LGBT for sure.
Yo, I am absolutely not. And
properly
you know
aligned is technically perpendicular too. That's the proper alignment.
The what?
The proper alignment to the LGBT is perpendicular too.
Oh God. Okay, I see.
Maybe to like make a little more room, erase his hands.
That's not the room I need though.
Well, if you're gonna have the hunter-gatherer or whatever, you know,
I don't think I'm going to, just because it's just that. I don't think I'm going to. Ooh, that's some contrast that I like. No. Then sharpen. Can I make him opaque? I don't know. I mean, this is most people view it on mobile, so. Boop. Yo, that's cool.
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's fine. I still need to do the little intro thingy. I'm just gonna do it while I'm here. Yo. Okay, that worked. Let's go. No, not EOS webcam utility. Now let's see. What happened? What is happening? Ah. What are you? Oh, it's recording. What is happening? Everything's freaking out. Yo. The script is losing its mind right now.
Yeah, it's been a little weird today. It's been super glitchy.
Oh, what is happening, dude? Stop doing this. Okay. Oh, I just closed it. Okay. I just want to finish this thing and then I want to watch videos. How's your channel doing, Kenny?
It's been okay. I definitely haven't broken the view record, but I still get like a couple hundred views, I guess, on things.
Well, that's fine. I mean, you're gonna have certain videos that do better. Like that's totally normal.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I'm just trying to.
But the amount of what I'm saying is the amount of views that you're getting is not necessarily what I mean by how is it going. Like that's not the views is out of your control. Like, are you learning things that you know to be associated with getting better at this and making higher quality stuff, even if it's not immediately putting out results? Like you're improving. That's
Yeah, I'm still. I mean, I try to. I'm working on something every day. And I try my best not to regress on any progress that I've done so far.
Yeah, build out those systems, homie.
Yeah, I have been. I'm trying to just make things more interesting. And with the video that I recently put out, I was just trying to keep like the retention rate higher than my others, and I was successful. So I mean, so that's good in my opinion.
Cool. Fuck yeah. That's awesome, man. I'm happy with that.
Are we getting the 1K subscriber thing?
What? Yeah, no, later. I'm doing that. I'm just going to do it on my own. I mean, you guys are welcome to fucking come hang out while I do it if you want, but that will be
just bombard your stream.
Yeah, I mean, that might not even be today because I do have 5 till midnight later at 8 p.m.
Okay. At 8 p.m. Yeah, I'll swing by that. You're going to post the link, right, on the Discord?
Oh, that's 5 till midnight, but you're welcome to hop in there. I don't care. I'll give you a link. Come in.
No, I meant like
the
link to the video. Like
okay. Yeah, I post it.
Okay.
He said, "Let me crash your stream."
No, actually, I do want you to join. I want to join and I want to not tell them who you are and just be like, who gave the link to this freaking Mexican man?
Dude, honestly, that would probably be hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
Kenny's pretty quick on his feet. I'm literally kicking my own ass. All right, it's published, and I think it loops pretty good. Kenny, did you think it looped good or no?
Oh, you talking about the short? Are you talking about the short? I haven't. Did he just like redo it or something?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a sec.
I think it looped good. It seems like it loops good. All right. Now it's time to get weird.
There's like a 0.02 second thing at the end where he goes and then it resets, and it doesn't seem to sound very good.
Oh, it doesn't? Okay. I put the and there on purpose because I was trying to make it loop.
Yeah.
But I think the audio is too loud at the start of the video. I don't know how to fix that.
Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna listen to it again. Like him saying and at the end, like it does sound like it looped better, but it just like abruptly finishes it. I don't know, like it finishes the video, like it cuts out pretty rough, you know.
It should cut out immediately. I mean, it should cut out and then come back. I mean, it's perfect to get it to loop, but you're not going to get that perfect. And you do want a hard cut because you don't want people to anticipate the end of the content you're saying. It should just end.
Yeah.
Wonder how I can make that smoother. Like, not on this video. I'm not gonna fuck with this one anymore, but wonder how I could make it smoother in future videos.
I think the script itself almost puts in that hard cut, unfortunately. So I'm not sure there's much we can do about it, but I would like to upgrade to going into I mean, sometimes maybe the script is better often for this type of stuff like shorts. But I as we learn DaVinci Resolve, I think it's possible that the stuff over there gives us better tools. I also think there's a free tool called CapCut, which a lot of people use, which I think has a lot of tools on it as well. And I think we would, you know, we shouldn't do everything at once, but it's a lot.
Yes, it is a lot.
Also, there's a new stock that I wish I told you about earlier because I'm already up on it. I'll put it in the comments, not financial advice. I'll put it in the public content if anyone's interested. And but don't buy it. I'm not recommending you buy it. I mean, I bought some, but I'm explicitly not recommending you buy it. I don't know what's going to happen with it. But it's up like 30% today, and I'm already up on it. This is basically gambling.
Everybody loves to gamble.
Well, fair enough. What is happening? Recovered files from failed recording. What? I don't think it wants to record. Descript, why aren't you working? Okay, now I'm just going to wait, see if anything happens. This is very odd. It usually works.
Are you using it through your browser or through the app?
The app. Maybe it needs an update.
Good.
They updated it a lot. I'm using the latest version. I'm just going to restart my computer. I'll be right back. It shouldn't close the stream.
Okay.
Direct Digital Holdings, Inc. I'll send you a link to the actual thing. I think that's what it is. Yeah. And I don't know a lot about the company besides the financials, and a guy that gave me a good tip on a stock recently told me about it. But yeah, Direct Digital Holdings, Inc., ticker DRCT. It's, check it out. But yeah, seriously, not financial advice. I really don't know much about it. And this is one of those things, this guy, like, he's told me before, like I almost lost a lot of money on the other thing that I did because but like he told me to sell and I sold and the stock dropped 65% in a day. So I'm not going to be around some of you people to know if that's going to happen again. But this dude's crazy, but he knows what he's doing. I think, he was right once. I'm doing this with house money. I don't know anything about this, but it's in. This is not how you should invest, frankly. But okay.
There he goes.
Huh? What's happening?
I made a really simple process based off of my experience today that I'll edit every time that I make one.
Okay.
It's like no one can hear you, Kenny. Nobody can hear
Kenny,
you.
you're muted.
You're muted, man.
I'm gonna restart my computer.
I'm recording, so I'm
Oh, okay. No, you're good. Turn it off then. No, you're fine. I thought you were talking, bro. My bad.
no.
Hey, before you start recording again, you want to look at this ridiculously short, grossly oversimplified shorts process that I made?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm about to leave for the gym, but let's end it.
Oh, I don't know if I can share it because he has to put it into the show, but I'll try. Can you see that?
No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do it. Oh well.
Oh, Daniel's just us two.
Yeah, I know. We can ruin his good name.
I know. Let me tell you about Sam. No, I was kidding. Unedited. I was playing.
Just start roasting him while he's not here.
Yeah.
He is giving you financial. It is financial
Yeah,
advice.
it is financial advice that he's giving you. He's trying to sell this stock. He knows the owner.
He is the owner.
Eh?
Oh, nothing.
What the hell are you?
We were telling everyone that you are giving financial advice and that you're actually the owner of that.
Yeah, of that stock.
Oh, that would be illegal.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I gotta go. Okay.
All right, man. Enjoy the gym. Enjoy recording. Talk to you soon.
I love y'all. Talk to y'all soon. Bye bye.
Bye. You're not leaving, are you, Dan?
No. Nope.
These eyes are crying. These eyes have seen a lot of love, but they're never gonna see another love like I had with you.
But I am gonna do
These eyes. Okay, I shouldn't.
something. I'm not doing any more shorts.
Stoned.
Not today.
Okay. No, I'm not stoned. I don't smoke marijuana.
No, I said I'm not doing any more shorts today.
Fantastic. I'm gonna try to record this intro again.
Okay.
What did I want to say? I want to say, okay. This
You
guy's
said you wanted to
amazing.
watch videos.
Yeah. After I record this intro and then get it uploaded, which should be soon because I already did the thumbnail and everything. Okay. Wait. Maybe it's because it's in use on the thing. Oh, maybe that's what it is. Ah, crap. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna replace this battery, and then I'm gonna drop down for a moment. So just do whatever for a second. I'll be right back because I think I need
one question.
What?
Do I need to? Should I make a StreamYard account, or do you want me to use?
I don't know.
Yours?
I don't know that right now.
Okay.
Why are you asking me that right now?
Because we were talking about streaming while you were in the woods. And
Okay, yeah, no, I'm just I'd like just remember to talk about that later because I want to finish this thing right now.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, I'm back.
Hola.
Okay, you want to put some of the videos on? Oh,
Yeah,
I have some.
Yeah, you said you had some today.
Actually, give me a few more minutes. I want to concentrate on this. As long as you have more time. Do you have more time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I got another 30 minutes at least, 45 probably.
Okay. It's not quite the amount of time I was thinking of. No, but that's a lot of time. Okay. I recorded a bunch of different versions.
Good. Actually, I got to take this call. This is my...
Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Hello.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Random call from the the lawyer, but we're good for Thanksgiving.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Did that happen behind me just because I did my thumbs?
Really?
No, it didn't. I mean, I didn't do that. Did you?
I don't know. No.
Oh my goodness, it does do it just because I have my thumbs up.
It's not working. Yo, what? No, you're fucking with me. That's crazy.
No, I swear to you, dude, I'm not.
Mine's not doing it.
I am not that tech savvy.
Neither am I, dude. Sucks.
Kenny? I feel like you're actually doing it. I'm just like a retard over here. Interesting.
Are you hearing these?
No, I can't hear anything.
That's weird. You should be able to hear them. Oh, I have it turned off. I'm having fun. I'm gonna spin him. Yeah. Oh, hey guys, sorry. I'm really concentrating on doing this right now. I'm about to release the whole episode or this whole thing. Wow, there's like 5 people in the viewing it. Hello. Sorry. Can you guys hear me? I'm talking, right? I'm almost done with this.
Yeah, I can hear you. You're good.
Okay. Yeah. Anyone got any questions? Oh, there's a thing in the comments if you're interested that is about there's to ask questions. I'm gonna do 1,000 subscriber special, I think tomorrow. So if you'd like to, please join that. Or please ask questions there. The link is below. Love this camera.
It looks great.
Chicken. If you're a banker, you can fuck off. It's from a thing. Okay, that's good enough.
Let's see it.
Okay. Well, let me upload it, and then we can watch it on YouTube itself.
Okay.
Wait, I thought we were gonna watch other videos though.
We can do both.
Let's watch other videos because I can do this stuff in the background now.
Okay.
This is a edit video. It's about editing. Here we go. All right. Can you hear
Ever
it?
wanted to edit so fast that
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it. Sorry.
either, but you probably struggle with time and find that editing, no matter what you do, just eats up tons of it. So in this video, I'm going to give you 6 things that over the last 20 years I've found have sped up my editing like crazy. Starting with this. Oh, hang on. Sorry. This. I know you're probably not expecting me to hold up a mouse or a plant pot, but this is a game changer because it's got lots of buttons that are in the perfect place for productivity, and you can make these buttons do different tasks in the editing software. So let me give you an example of what I mean. This is how I've programmed my mouse. One button simply zooms in, one zooms out. One of these side ones deletes everything after a playhead, and then the other one deletes everything before. And then the button on the side here just switches between different programs. But you can make them do pretty much anything you like. You can turn the playhead into a blade, you can delete a section, add markers, undo. In fact, you can program pretty much any of your shortcuts in Premiere Pro and Final Cut and tons of other software like Photoshop too to do whatever you like. Unfortunately, you can't hit a button and edit the whole thing yet. On top of that, I used to use a trackpad to edit because it was just so much faster. I ended up getting carpal tunnel and I had to wear this wristband and it just hurt and it ended up smelling and it was just this whole thing. So this is a must. Now, they're not cheap, but you will get your money back in time the second that you start using it. The next thing is digital assets. You know what the best way to edit 10 times slower is? That is to keep using different templates and effects and text in every new YouTube video you make. Now, for your channel, you do need a style because you want to create something that people begin to recognize, but not just that, you want something that saves you time. So devote a session just to working out all the digital assets that you will ever use again in your other videos, and then try not to keep deviating. Of course, there's room for creativity and experimentation. If you're always trying to find new fonts and end screens and call to action graphics, it's going to eat in your time without providing much more of a benefit. The next thing is a second screen. You know, you see all those YouTubers and they've got loads of screens. Well, it's not just because they look really cool. They actually make a huge difference to productivity and editing speed. Now, I edit on a 27-inch iMac. That's quite a big screen, but I still have a massive old television next to me that's far too big. I'm just too tight and lazy to buy anything else. What it means is, when editing, I can have my scripts on the other screen. I can have my web browser open, files and footage that I can just scroll through without having to flick between stuff. And combined with the mouse, I honestly think I gain about 15% of a time saving here, because when I try and edit on a laptop without these things, it's a nightmare. And again, this is also a health benefit. Actually turning and looking at another screen means your eyes are traveling further and you're not just sat curled up in exactly the same position for hours. Of course, you can take a second screen really far and get an amazing 4K beast for things like color grading. But for me, I just simply use it for documents and going through files, and it's unbelievably good. The next thing is you've got to eliminate distractions. When you're in the zone editing and then your phone goes off or you look at an email, it takes about 15 minutes for you to get back into the same productivity zone. So you need to turn your phone off, set up something called Boomerang on your email, which you can basically set a time when all your emails that have been sent all turn up at once, and then tell your significant other there will be a severe punishment if they disturb you. I guarantee you that in 1 power hour like this, with no distractions, you will achieve more than you do in 3 hours with the disturbances. Now, if you're a bit weird like me, you might get carried away and make that a power 6 hours and you'll just forget the world exists. And if you do that, just make sure you blink. I once didn't blink for 6 hours and it totally screwed up my eyes. I'm not even kidding. Editing will do that to you. Now, the next thing is, and I'm pretty sure everyone does this without even realizing it, but it's to stop watching your videos when you edit it. So this is what happens. You edit a video and you're like, yeah, man, that was a great intro. So you watch it again and again, and then you edit more, and then you go back and think, oh, I wonder if the beginning now works with the other work that I've done. So if you're your video is 10 minutes long and you've rewatched it like 6 times, you've pretty much wasted an entire hour just watching it.
Oh my
There's
God,
a time and a
JC.
place to rewatch your content, but you just need to ask yourself when you find it about to happen, is this really needed? And that one question is going to save you a stack of time. The sixth thing is to create a process. Now, this is the big daddy of productivity when editing, but you need to find a workflow that is efficient for you. And that's actually a really big part of editing. You always want to do a great job and get better, but you also need to continually question yourself and ask, is there a faster way to do this? Because there nearly always is. So let me give you an example. Let's say you've batch shot 4 YouTube videos. What do? Edit one video all the way through and complete it and then move on to the next. Or you could try what I do and edit your videos in levels. So I'll go and I'll line up the A-roll for all 4 videos first. And then I'll go back and I'll cut out all the mistakes and any content I feel doesn't need to be in the video. And then I'll go and do a round where I just add the J-cuts for all 4. Then I'll do a round where I just add the text. Now, this might not be right for you, but I find that the headspace you're in for cutting out repetition, adding J-cuts and jump cuts is a totally different headspace to adding all of the really creative and sexy bits after. So I try to batch things in an order and then finesse them all individually. Now, the great thing about this is if you do all the boring bits first, you've then only got the fun bits left. And it's just so much more enjoyable doing it that way. Now, if you don't batch edit and it's just one video, then it's still kind of like the same process. Whatever you do, just don't edit the video from start to finish. So by that, I mean, don't try and make the first 10 seconds fully complete and then edit the next 20 seconds to make that fully complete. What will happen is you'll end up watching it back and then cutting out loads of these things towards the end that you've already edited. If you start by lining up the narrative, if that's what you have, and then cut it back so it works exactly how you want it before you add the next steps, it means that you won't have to go back and make any major changes to the story of your content, which could end up undoing all of the work and time and effort you put into the edit. And then the 7th thing to do, which is really important, is to make sure you watch this video here to learn how to make any video edit.
You got to prompt them to watch another video at the end. That's genius. But I'm not going to watch his because we got another one. Do you have any you want to watch after this next one? Higgy?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm a
Yes. Are you gonna
I'm sorry, JC. I said hi. I just didn't realize my mic was muted. No, I don't have one. Go ahead.
Okay.
17-year-old YouTuber and professional video editor with millions of views and years of experience to my name. Here's how to edit videos that go viral and make you a ton of money in the process, whether you're editing for yourself or even somebody else. To start, you'll obviously need a video idea, script, and voiceover depending on the type of video you want to create. I'll assume you have that already, which means now we have to gather a bunch of footage to edit with. There are 2 main types of footage that you'll likely use, A-roll and B-roll. A-roll is just footage where the voiceover is inside of the video. For example, in a clip where somebody is talking directly to the camera. B-roll, on the other hand, is footage that goes on top of the voiceover, which can be in the form of stock videos, footage shot with the camera, and even screen recorded clips off of YouTube, to name a few examples. A good rule of thumb is to gather enough A-roll to last the whole video, and at the same time, get enough B-roll to cover the whole length of the video 2 to 4 times over. Maybe it seems overkill to you, but trust me, you can never have too much B-roll. Depending on the type of video you're making, you'll get your B-roll in a variety of different ways. For example, on my game dev channel, most of the B-roll that I use is directly taken from the game and just screen record. If your video is more cinematic, you might want to go out and film some stuff, and really, you just have to get creative with this. Maybe if you're editing for somebody else, they've already given you stuff, which is great. If you end up not having enough B-roll, though, stock footage is great to fill the gaps. And lucky for you, stock footage is actually really easy to find on the internet. Many times, it's even free. Artlist.io, Envato Elements, and Storyblocks are some of the most popular paid solutions. If you sign up for any of these using the affiliate links in my description, then I'll actually get a small commission and it helps support me. However, some people can't or won't pay for stuff like this, and I understand that, so I just recommend you use Pexels.com in that case. In fact, one of the editors on this channel actually uses Pexels. Remember to use my links in the description to sign up for any of these forms. When you've gathered all your B-roll and A-roll if you decide to include it, then lay down the footage for your intro. Don't even worry about the rest of your video yet. As an editor, the first few seconds of your video are easily the most important part, as they usually dictate whether the viewer stays for the rest of the video or not. The average person today has severe undiagnosed ADHD and the attention span of a goldfish. So it's important that you blow up their screen with stimulation in the opening shots of your video. If you have A-roll with your face in it, then it may be beneficial to start with that footage, as it creates a personal human connection with the viewer. If not, no worries. As you lay out the rest of your intro, make sure you have about 3 times as much B-roll as A-roll, or just don't include A-roll at all. Try to make cuts every 1 to 4 seconds as well, so that you keep your viewers hooked. If you have a voiceover, or honestly, even if you don't, just try to keep your intro as concise as possible, because when an intro drags on, it's really just so easy to click off the video. Also, don't worry about crazy visual effects or motion graphics quite yet, as for now, we just want a rough edit to work with. When you've got your intro, lay out the rest of your footage across the entire video. Once again, if you have A-roll, make sure you're including about 3 times as much B-roll as you have A-roll, as otherwise, it's really boring just to look at your face the whole time, no matter how attractive you are. And believe me, I know you are. No need to go as crazy as you did at the intro, but still try to keep your cuts quick and try and not, lose the viewer. This especially applies if you have a voiceover in your video. A half-second pause in between 2 parts of a voiceover may not seem like much, but when you have it throughout an entire video, it becomes definite. If you have 2 parts of a voiceover back to back and they sound rough, literally just overlap them like this on 2 separate audio tracks and it'll sound really smooth. Then when you get to the outro, just like the intro, make sure it doesn't drag out or your retention graph will have a ton of viewers dropping off in the last 15 seconds. Either keep your outro short and simple or just don't include one at all. Just make sure you leave at least 5 seconds for an end screen. Now onto the fun stuff. Let's start by spicing up our video with subtitles. Subtitles are a great retention hack and actually aren't that hard to make. In your video editor of choice, write out some text and center it. Pick a nice font, scale it down, and move it to the bottom of the screen so that it's not too distracting. If you don't want subtitles that are animated, then great, just duplicate it a bunch of times and you're done. Otherwise, start by making a keyframe for the current scale of the text and move it about 5 frames out from the beginning. Then scale it down a little bit, but not all the way, and add that keyframe to the beginning. Finally, scale it a little bit bigger than your last keyframe and stick it about 3 frames out from the beginning. If you play, you should get a really nice pop-in subtitle effect. Now, as I said before, all you have to do is duplicate this and use it wherever you want. Obviously changing the text though. I like to always include subtitles in my intro because, like I said, it's a great retention hack, but otherwise use them sort of sparingly throughout the rest of the video. It really all comes down to personal preference. Whatever you do though, just make sure they're not too distracting. I like to think they're a nice supplement to whatever's going on the screen and really shouldn't be there just to overtake everything. Next, I'm going to show you how to make all those crazy transitions and motion effects that you see other YouTubers use. It's honestly not too difficult to make all of these ourselves, but most YouTubers work smarter instead of harder. What I mean by this is they really just use other people's presets to get it done quickly. I'll leave links to a few popular preset packs that I use in the description depending on your video editor of choice. Otherwise, literally just look up like free preset packs for whatever editor you're using. You might have to sign up for an email list or something, but it's totally worth it, trust me. Just like subtitles, wherever you use these in your video, they really shouldn't be too distracting. There's no one-size-fits-all rule for this, so you really just have to experiment and see what looks good and what doesn't. Here's another cool editing trick. In my videos, I like to have a bit of fun and do a lot of motion tracking. For example, I don't show my face, so sometimes I'll just have my profile picture track the head of somebody in a stock video to make it look like it's me. To do this, you'll first need an image and then a video to go in the background. Line them up and then scroll to the beginning of the video and the image. Then move your image to wherever you want it to track and make keyframes for position and scale. Next, scrub forward a couple frames and move it again and make 2 more keyframes. Keep doing this for the rest of the clip, and when you're done, you've just motion tracked an image successfully. Good editing is all about being creative, so really just have fun with this. One last thing I like to do in editing is to take advantage of scale. For example, if the voiceover says something stupid, then I'll scale the clips down on screen to about 80%, like this. This creates emphasis and really just makes it funnier for some reason. Scaling things up is cool too, like especially when it gets all grainy and low resolution. It's really all up to your artistic touch, but just have fun with this, just like anything else. Scaling also doesn't have to be stagnant, especially in your intro, but wherever you have something still, try making keyframes for the start and end of clips to have it scale up over time, like this. Especially if you have still images in your edit, this just adds some motion to it and makes it a lot more interesting. Once again, you really just have to figure out what looks good and experiment. Now that we've polished up our video with all of these cool effects, we now need to add sounds to bring the video to life. Sound design may seem like a small part of the edit, but honestly, it's the single biggest thing that turns a decent edit into an incredible edit. I just ripped most of my sounds off of YouTube and a couple other platforms that I'll talk about when we get to music. I've also found it useful to go just ask other YouTubers for the sounds that they use, and it usually works. As for actually using sound effects, just use them anywhere it makes sense. I know that's helpful. But for example, if an image slides onto the screen, use a whoosh sound effect or some kind of rock slide because that's what would happen in real life, I guess. Whatever you do, just keep building up a large catalog of sounds so that when you do need to actually use them, you can vary it up as well. Like, don't use the same pop sound effect 5 times in a row or it'll be boring. Depending on your style of editing, you may also want to tone back or lean into sound design more, which is fine. Just never ignore it completely. Trust me. Up next is music. You're going to want to start by sectioning out your video in some form or fashion. Basically, anytime you change the subject or whenever the mood changes or when you go to a different place, etc. It really all depends on what's relevant to your video, but figure this out and mark each section of your video in your video editing software. After that, go find music to use in your video, but don't just grab any. Using copyrighted music comes with a ton of risks that you really don't want, so make sure you're actually able to use whatever music. Non-copyright music on YouTube is usually pretty bad, cheesy, or all of the above, so I personally use a couple different platforms for music. First is Thematic. Thematic has a really generous free plan, giving you 5 downloads per month and a humongous catalog of free music to go through. If you want unlimited downloads and even more music, you can either give songs ratings or pay $8 a month for Thematic Premium. This video isn't sponsored, but if you buy Thematic Premium with the link in my description, I take a pretty significant cut. I used to rely on Thematic quite a bit, but nowadays I use Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound has a way bigger catalog of music and more advanced discovery tools. It costs $9 a month for the personal plan and also includes sound effects. Once again, this video isn't sponsored by them, but if you sign up with the link in my description, I also take a cut of the sale. Of course, there are plenty of other platforms out there for you to use. Or honestly, you can just use Nintendo's music, as they allow creators to use their music in their content as long as they provide, quote, creative expression on top of them. Whatever you do, just be careful. When you've got your music, lay it out on your timeline underneath all of your footage based on the sections that you made earlier. It's gonna be really loud at first, so I keep the volume in between -20 and -10 decibels so that you can still hear the voiceover. If you ever need to cut the music for a second, like when you say something funny, you want to isolate the voiceover, don't just cut the ends like this because it could sound rough. Instead, still cut both ends, but add the little fade out and fade in transitions to the start and end of the snippets to make it sound better and not so harsh. Similarly, if you ever have songs back to back and they sound rough, we can just have them fade into each other. Or you can even take advantage of sound design and use a riser or something to kind of mask the transition between the two songs. When you've got all of this done, polish up any loose ends in your video and you're finished. If you like this video and want to learn how to start making money off of your edits and come up with viral video ideas, go watch my video about how I monetized my channel in only 30 days.
Okay, you want me to run it back?
Professional video editor with millions of views and years of experience to my name. Here's how to edit videos that go viral and make you a ton of money in the process, whether you're editing for yourself or even somebody else. To start, you'll obviously need a video idea, script, and voiceover depending on the type of video you want to create. I'll assume you have that already, which means now we have to gather a bunch of footage to edit with. There are 2 main types of footage that you'll likely use: A-roll and B-roll. A-roll is just footage where the voiceover is inside of the video. For example, in a clip where somebody is talking directly to the camera. B-roll, on the other hand, is footage that goes on top of the voiceover, which can be in the form of stock videos, footage shot with the camera, and even screen recorded clips off of YouTube, to name a few examples. A good rule of thumb is to gather enough A-roll to last the whole video, and at the same time, get enough B-roll to cover the whole length of the video 2 to 4 times over. Maybe it seems overkill to you, but trust me, you can never have too much B-roll. Depending on the type of video you're making, you'll get your B-roll in a variety of different ways. For example, on my game dev channel, most of the B-roll that I use is directly taken from the game and just screen record. If your video is more cinematic, you might want to go out and film some stuff, and really, you just have to get creative with this. Maybe if you're editing for somebody else, they've already given you stuff, which is great. If you end up not having...
I think that we should do all this preset stuff. Like, number one, we really need to be using DaVinci instead of Descript. I think we need to figure out how to do it. I think we can use both, especially the transcription, but DaVinci does do transcription. I need to get Studio because I have it for free. I just need to download it. Usually Japanese companies are hardcore with their IP. Yeah. But they definitely are. But usually we need to, what do we need to do? We need to, we need to have all this stuff ready. Ooh, sorry. So this thing's fucking heavy. It's, so that it's ready. Like it should be ready every time. Like we don't have to go looking for these sounds every time. And we should have a process of this, but yeah.
Enough B-roll, though, stock footage is great to fill the gaps. And lucky for you, stock footage is actually really easy to find on the internet. Many times it's even free. Artlist.io, Envato Elements, and Storyblocks are some of the most popular paid solutions. If you sign up for any of these using the affiliate links in my description, then I'll actually get a small commission and it helps support me. However, some people can't or won't pay for stuff like this, and I understand that, so I just recommend you use Pexels.com in that case. In fact, one of the editors on this channel actually uses Pexels. Remember to use my links in the description to sign up for any of these. When you've gathered all your B-roll and A-roll if you decide to include it, then lay down the footage for your intro. Don't even worry about the rest of your video yet. As an editor, the first few seconds of your video are easily the most important part, as they usually dictate whether the viewer stays for the rest of the video or not. The average person today has severe undiagnosed ADHD and the attention span of a goldfish, so it's important that you blow up their screen with stimulation in the opening shots of your video. If you have A-roll with your face in it, then it may be beneficial to start with that footage, as it creates a personal personal human connection with the viewer. If not, no worries. As you lay out the rest of your intro, make sure you have about 3 times as much B-roll as A-roll, or just don't include A-roll at all. Try to make cuts every 1 to 4 seconds as well so that you keep your viewers hooked. If you have a voiceover, or honestly, even if you don't, just try to keep your intro as concise as possible, because when an intro drags on, it's really just so easy to click off the video. Also, don't worry about crazy visual effects or motion graphics quite yet, as for now, we just want a rough edit to work with. When you've got your intro, lay out the rest of your footage across the entire video. Once again, if you have A-roll, make sure you're including about 3 times as much B-roll as you have A-roll, as otherwise, it's really boring just to look at your face the whole time, no matter how attractive you are. And believe me, I know you are. No need to go as crazy as you did in the intro, but still try to keep your cuts quick and try and not, lose the viewer. This especially applies if you have a voiceover in your video. A half-second pause in between 2 parts of a voiceover may not seem like much, but when you have it throughout an entire video, it becomes definite. If you have 2 parts of a voiceover back to back and they sound rough, literally just overlap them like this on 2 separate audio tracks and it'll sound really smooth. Then when you get to the outro, just like the intro, make sure it doesn't drag out or your retention graph will have a ton of viewers dropping off in the last 15 seconds. Either keep your outro short and simple or just don't include one at all. Just make sure you leave at least 5 seconds for an end screen. Now onto the fun stuff. Let's start by spicing up our video with subtitles. Subtitles are a great retention hack and actually aren't that hard to make. In your video editor of choice, write out some text and center it. Pick a nice font, scale it down, and move it to the bottom of the screen so that it's not too distracting. If you don't want subtitles that are animated, then great, just duplicate it a bunch of times and you're done. Otherwise, start by making a keyframe for the current scale of the text and move it about 5 frames out from the beginning. Then scale it down a little bit, but not all the way, and add that keyframe to the beginning. Finally, scale it a little bit bigger than your last keyframe and stick it about 3 frames out from the beginning. If you play, you should get a really nice pop-in subtitle effect. Now, as I said before, all you have to do is duplicate this and use it wherever you want. Obviously changing the text though. I like to always include subtitles in my intro because, like I said, it's a great retention hack, but otherwise use them sort of sparingly throughout the rest of the video. It really all comes down to personal preference. Whatever you do though, just make sure they're not too distracting. I like to think they're a nice supplement to whatever's going on the screen and really shouldn't be there just to overtake everything. Next, I'm going to show you how to make all those crazy transitions and motion effects that you see other YouTubers use. It's honestly not too difficult to make all of these ourselves, but most YouTubers work smarter instead of harder. What I mean by this is they really just use other people's presets to get it done quickly. I'll leave links to a few popular preset packs that I use in the description depending on your video editor of choice. Otherwise, literally just look up like free preset packs for whatever editor you're using. You might have to sign up for an email list or something, but it's totally worth it, trust me. Just like subtitles, wherever you use these in your video, they really shouldn't be too distracting. There's no one-size-fits-all rule for this, so you really just have to experiment and see what looks good and what doesn't. Here's another cool editing trick. In my videos, I like to have a bit of fun and do a lot of motion tracking. For example, I don't show my face, so sometimes I'll just have my profile picture track the head of somebody in a stock video to make it look like it's me. To do this, you'll first need an image and then a video to go in the background. Line them up and then scroll to the beginning of the video and the image. Then move your image to wherever you want it to track and make keyframes for position and scale. Next, scrub forward a couple frames and move it again and make 2 more keyframes. Keep doing this for the rest of the clip, and when you're done, you've just motion tracked an image successfully. Good editing is all about being creative, so really just have fun with this. One last thing I like to do in editing is to take advantage of scale. For example, if the voiceover says something stupid, then I'll scale the clips down on screen to about 80%, like this. This creates emphasis and really just makes it funnier for some reason. Scaling things up is cool too, like especially when it gets all grainy and low resolution, it's really all up to your artistic touch, but just have fun with this, just like anything else. Scaling also doesn't have to be stagnant, especially in your intro, but wherever you have something still, try making keyframes for the start and end of clips to have it scale up over time, like this. Especially if you have still images in your edit, this just adds some motion to it and makes it a lot more interesting. Once again, you really just have to figure out what looks good and experiment. Now that we've polished up our video with all of these cool effects, we now need to add sounds to bring the video to life. Sound design may seem like a small part of the edit, but honestly, it's the single biggest thing that turns a decent edit into an incredible edit. I just ripped most of my sounds off of YouTube and a couple other platforms that I'll talk about when we get to music. I've also found it useful to go just ask other YouTubers for the sounds that they use, and it usually works. As for actually using sound effects, just use them anywhere it makes sense. I know that's helpful. But for example, if an image slides onto the screen, use a whoosh sound effect or some kind of rock slide because that's what would happen in real life, I guess. Whatever you do, just keep building up a large catalog of sounds so that when you do need to actually use them, you can vary it up as well. Like, don't use the same pop sound effect 5 times in a row or it'll be boring. Depending on your style of editing, you may also want to tone back or lean into sound design more, which is fine. Just never ignore it completely. Trust me. Up next is music. You're going to want to start by sectioning out your video in some form or fashion. Basically, anytime you change the subject or whenever the mood changes or when you go to a different place, etc. It really all depends sections and what's relevant to your video, but figure this out and mark each section of your video in your video editing software. After that, go find music to use in your video, but don't just grab any. Using copyrighted music comes with a ton of risks that you really don't want, so make sure you're actually able to use whatever music. Non-copyright music on YouTube is usually pretty bad, cheesy, or all of the above, so I personally use a couple different platforms for music. First is Thematic. Thematic has a really generous free plan, giving you 5 downloads per month and a humongous catalog of free music to go through. If you want unlimited downloads and even more music, you can either give songs ratings or pay $8 a month for Thematic Premium. This video isn't sponsored, but if you buy Thematic Premium with the link in my description, I take a pretty significant cut. I used to rely on Thematic quite a bit, but nowadays I use Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound has a way bigger catalog of music and more advanced discovery tools. It costs $9 a month for the personal plan and also includes sound effects. Once again, this video isn't sponsored by them, but if you sign up with the link in my description, I also take a cut of the sale. Of course, there are plenty of other platforms out there for you to use. Or honestly, you can just use Nintendo's music, as they allow creators to use their music in their content as long as they provide, quote, creative expression on top of them. Whatever you do, just be careful. When you've got your music, lay it out on your timeline underneath all of your footage based on the sections that you made earlier. It's gonna be really loud at first, so I keep the volume in between -20 and -10 decibels so that you can still hear the voiceover. If you ever need to cut the music for a second, like when you say something funny and want to isolate the voiceover, don't just cut the ends like this because it could sound rough. Instead, still cut both ends, but add the little fade out and fade in transitions to the start and end of these snippets to make it sound better and not so harsh. Similarly, if you ever have songs back to back and they sound rough, we can just have them fade into each other. Or you can even take advantage of sound design and use a riser or something to kind of mask the transition between the two songs. When you've got all of this done, polish up any loose ends in your video and you're finished. If you like this video and want to learn how to start making money off of your edits and come up with viral video ideas, go watch my video about how I monetized my channel in only 30 days.
Oh, Aaron McIntyre is streaming right now too. Which was the one he said? It was on the end screen. I'm a 17-year-old YouTuber with over 30,000 subscribers, and I monetized a fresh YouTube channel in only 30 days. Here's how you can do the same and start collecting ad revenue on your videos quickly. Step 1 is to figure out a niche for your channel. You'll want to be very intentional with this, as the type of videos you create directly correlates to your eligibility to monetize, as well as your growth up until you actually get monetized. You'll probably also want to pick a niche that pays well, so that when you do end up getting monetized, you'll earn more money than you would otherwise. I personally picked finance because A, it's one of the highest viewed niches on YouTube, and B, it has one of the highest CPMs on the platform, which means that when I do start collecting ad revenue, I'll earn a lot more. It's also something that I know a lot about and therefore can provide value with it. Another thing to consider when selecting a niche is its viability to produce evergreen content. Evergreen content is a term that encompasses videos that basically never die out and keep getting views. I have not heard of John Doyle and Brianna Wu over time. In a niche like finance, or honestly anything related to education, videos will stay relevant weeks, months, and even years after they get uploaded. For example, picture a video called How to Tie a Tie. It's obvious that this is never really going to die out because people are always going to want to learn how to tie a tie. This doesn't even just have to be exclusively for educational channels. Just get creative and try to think of video ideas that are going to stay relevant for a longer period of time. On top of all this, you're going to want to have a clear target audience. Age, gender, occupation, and interests are the most important qualities to consider when you're coming up with this target audience. For my channel, I aim to target 16 to 30-year-old aspiring content creators who watch finance and YouTube education channels. According to my analytics, I was successful. Make sure to write down all the stuff you came up with regarding your channel's niche, target audience, and the type of videos you want to create, as you'll need this information later when you actually start making videos. Once you have that done, you're ready to move on to step 2, which is to come up with video ideas that have a high probability of blowing up. And don't even try to tell me that that's not useful advice because you don't know how to come up with viral video ideas. Yes, it's way easier said. High probability of blowing up. And don't even try to tell me that that's not useful advice because you don't know how to come up with viral video ideas. Yes, it's way easier said than done, but if you just take a step back and stop complaining about how hard it is, it gets a lot easier actually. There are 3 good strategies I like to use when coming up with viral ideas. First is to write down a list of absolutely absurd claims a video in your niche could make. For example, on my game dev channel, I came up with a video called I made a game in 1 line of code, which seems impossible, right? This gave my viewers a question that
that they wanted answered. And to get the answer, they had to watch the video. So far, I've employed this strategy on my main channel quite a bit, which has led me to lots of views and greater success on the platform. However, this isn't the only way to come up with viral video ideas. Another way is to use the research tab in YouTube Studio to figure out what video topics are popping at the moment. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but keywords that YouTube Studio says have high traffic at the moment are great to base your videos around. I did this for my first video on my second channel, which I based around making passive income through a form of YouTube automation, which was no accident, as both passive income and YouTube automation get a ton of traffic on YouTube in 2023. As a result, I projected it to blow up, and it did pretty quickly. It's also a good idea to eventually stick keywords like this in your titles and descriptions to increase your video's SEO, allowing it to be more easily discovered and recommended to new viewers. But we'll save that for later. Really quick, I didn't take a sponsor for this video, so I'd like to take a minute to let you guys know about my new email list. Basically, if you sign up for my email list with the link in the description, then I'll send you free editing presets, sound effects, exclusive discount codes, like you name it. And in return, I get your email so that I can promote any kind of courses or tools I end up making in the future that I want to sell. I'm a good guy, so I won't spam your email or give it to other people. And it's totally free, so go use the link in the description to add your email to the list. Trust me, it'll be worth your time. Finally, if you're ever lost after running these two methods to their limit, just pop open ChatGPT and ask it for some viral ideas in your niche. Surprisingly, it's actually pretty good at it. In general, though, not every video on your channel needs to be a quote viral idea, as there's definitely a time and place for videos that you make that don't help you grow, but instead help you retain a loyal audience and build a community. However, when you're first starting out and have no audience, there's not really a reason to do this, and you should focus on growing your channel as quick as possible. Also, it's essential that you keep these video ideas under the niche that you picked in step 1. Currently, you have no subscribers, but that won't be the case for long. The way YouTube's algorithm works, it'll start by pushing your video to all of your subscribers. And if they click on it, enjoy it, and watch a large portion of it, YouTube will then start to push it to a wider audience, which is where your channel starts to grow. Allow me to explain why this means you can't just go willy-nilly with your video ideas and should stick to a specific niche. Imagine you're the creator of a fashion channel, and every week you post videos about, I don't know, clothes. But then one week, in a flash of inspiration, you decide to make a video about your top 10 favorite video games of all time. Maybe it's a good video and maybe you really enjoy it, but when the video gets pushed to your subscribers, they're likely not going to watch because they subscribe to you for fashion content. And as a result, the video flops. We're trying to blow up and monetize a channel in 30 days, so every video needs to pull its weight. With every video idea, put yourself in the shoes of your target audience and make sure your video idea appeals to them. When you've got a few video ideas written down, you can move on to step 3. Make a ton of videos. If you're the type of creator to upload every few weeks or every month or honestly every blue moon, good video ideas and execution over time will eventually lead to your channel blowing up and getting monetized. But we're not looking to grow slowly. We're looking to blow up quickly. So instead, you'll need to grind out content like crazy. And when I say crazy, I'm talking like 2 to 4 videos a month with shorts mixed in crazy. Of course, it's way easier said than done, but it's definitely attainable. My solution was, I mean, it's a little cliche, but to work smarter and not harder. I took the time to hire people using money stockpiled from my game dev channel to take off most of the workload. I also noticed that I had a ton of free time in class when I wasn't doing anything. So I decided to use the school day to write scripts for my videos instead of spending time working at home where I could be doing stuff for my main channel. I hired an editor and a thumbnail designer to do most of the hard labor for me and was able to pump out 2 long-form videos in the first month of creating the channel. Oh, and 2 shorts too. In the same realm as step 3 is step 3.5, which is to not only make a ton of videos, but to also make a ton of good videos. Unfortunately, there's not really a good way to balance quality and quantity if you're trying to monetize a channel quickly. You really need to have both. I'll be making videos about this in the future, but to keep it brief, make sure that you have good editing, a good voiceover, and try not to be boring. Try and cut the fluff out of your intros too. YouTubers that go, "Hello guys, welcome back to another YouTube video on my YouTube channel about finance and personal investment. I'm John Scott, a YouTuber and stocks analyst of over 30 years. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're new here and hit the bell so you never miss a new video." In today's video, lose a lot of retention in the first 30 seconds of their video, and as a result, the video doesn't do so hot. but whatever. The last step I'm going to share with you guys today is to promote your channel in some form or fashion. When you have no subscribers, this step is crucial. As I went over earlier, YouTube needs an audience of subscribers to test your videos before pushing them out to a wider audience, which obviously isn't possible when you don't have subscribers in the first place. I was a little fortunate because I have my main channel, which has over 33,000 subscribers that I was able to promote my first video to. But you probably don't have another YouTube channel to promote to, which is fine. Advertise your channel and your videos in Discord servers, post it on other social medias like Twitter and Instagram, and make sure you tell your family and friends in real life. Hell, even step outside once in a while and go tell the trees and the animals about your channel. You never know, maybe one day they'll end up watching your videos. Whatever happens though, just remember to be patient and don't get pressed if you don't succeed in only 30 days. My first YouTube channel took me about a year and a half, and I know so many other creators that have taken a lot longer. Sometimes the road to monetization is a long one, so just keep trying and you'll get there eventually. When you do end up getting monetized though, it's likely that companies will be in your inbox asking to sponsor you. When the time comes, you're going to want to know exactly what to do and how much money to ask for. So I'd recommend clicking on this video about getting sponsored on YouTube. Peace.
See, that end is amazing. Very good. Okay. A 1 to 2 minute intro usually means people are going to just fast forward. Yeah, I'm trying to lower my intros both for the podcast and for the YouTube videos. The podcast I think is improving quite a bit just based on what I'm doing with the YouTube. But yeah, I think we're gonna end it here, guys. We've been going for a really long time. All right, later. You good, Higgy? You got anything to say on that?
I'm good. I'm all good, dude.
All right, later, JC. This was a long one. I'll be back 5 till midnight at 8 p.m. tonight.